And we'll bring you another entry from the vast movie awards in next Friday's World Cup snowboarding show. Now, have you ever wondered what the world's best riders get up to when they're not in international competition? Well, we've asked Britain's #1 snowboarder, Zoe Gillings, to submit her own weekly personal video diary in what we're calling Behind the Board. And for me, I'll see you after the break.
Hi, my name's Zoe Gillings. Come watch my video diary on Channel 4.
Because it's rad.
Previously on The Diary.
Boom. Alright, so what have you done?
I've hurt my ankle.
So, this means what?
I'm going to go down, take a foot off, do some hot and cold on it to see how it feels. It's going to hurt for a few days, however many as I can, I'm not quite sure.
Alright, well you got tomorrow off, so it should be alright?
Yeah, it's a good job for tomorrow.
Alright, so what pain level are you sitting at? About 3, you said? And then when you walk, what does it go to?
Yeah, 10's like the most amount of pain I've ever felt in my life. It's sitting at about 3, when I walk it goes up to about 5. If I move it the wrong way, it's about 8.
Okay. Alright, well, walk on up, get your bag, and see you know. Looks like I've actually secured a physio for the season, which is like really quite important because, because Zoe's, here you're banging against the thing, because Zoe's ankle has been repaired, it's actually not as good as you'd hoped. She still has a little bit of pain and other things, but
a little bit.
All right, she's got quite a bit of pain, but she takes the top pill in the morning, so it's all right. But yeah, if we get a physio, it's gonna help everyone, and it also puts like a bit of a safety net on the team. Is a good way of putting it. I mean, we try to just not to use physio if we don't have to use it, because it's not something you want to become addicted to. Because then you start finding injuries, but at the same time we need to have physio so that we can, bend these guys when they take their big crashes. That's pretty much about it for now. We'll see you on the hill in the morning. Bye. Say bye, Zoe.
Hi, Zoe.
Hi, this is Zoe Gillings from Behind the Board.
Welcome back to World Cup Snowboarding on 4. We're about to whisk you away to Saas-Fee in Switzerland for half-pipe riding action. But before we do that, let's catch up with the British rider who flies the flag in this discipline, Dan Wakeman, just before the start of the season.
Dan Wakeman is without doubt the best male half-piper Britain's got. In January 2006, Dan achieved a commendable 5th position in the World Cup half-pipe in Lausanne, Switzerland. Although he's been knocking on the door for the past couple of years, it's a real struggle for him coming from a country whose snowboarding pedigree isn't quite as immense as that of the Americans.
The Americans are just totally ahead of the game, and this season we're going to try and spend a bit more time in the States. Not only doing the World Cup circuit, but we're going to do some of the American series, and that way we can ride alongside the top guys, because in the World Cups, some of the guys that were on the podium only did like 1 or 2 World Cups last year. They were all doing their own American series. I'm sat here, I've got a 14 grand bill at home from Snowsports GB, and I'm like, how the hell am I going to pay that? I'm in so much debt from doing what I've done now. And I mean, like physios, I would love to have a physio. The first time I've ever had any physio was at the Olympics, and I'm sure there's not many Olympians that can say that.
Half-pipe snowboarding is both a technically and mentally challenging sport, but luck does play its part as well. The level is getting higher and higher, making it more demanding for the snowboarders every year.
The pipes are always different. It's never the same pipe, because in pipe it is a lot of the head. Like for skiing, you can train to win, but it's not like that in snowboarding.
British snowboarding isn't exactly made of money, and despite the obvious challenges Dan has, he's looking to build on a successful year.
I've just signed a new contract with Head Snowboards, so we're all stoked to get what we've got.
Welcome back to World Cup Skiing on 4. It's time to head back to Japan for the women's round of the World Cup of Freestyle Skiing, and it's the moguls that we're focusing on in tonight's show. Nathan Roberts wrapped up the men's event in great style for the USA, but everybody is watching the Canadian female bump skier Jennifer Heil. Olympic gold, World Cup, World Championship, you name it, this young lady has won it. And I caught up with her just a few weeks ago to see how she was preparing for this season and what her goals were for 2007.
As a person, you look incredibly fresh and invigorated, but it's fair to say you've pretty much won everything the sport can throw at you. How do you keep that motivation? How do you keep that spark? Because you really do need that to get out there in the freezing cold and keep training in the bumps every day.
The good news is that the schedule of the World Cup, pretty much we end up in warm places at that time of year. We avoid North America in late January. You definitely have to love what you do because it's amazing and you get to go to all these great places, and you know, my office is probably the most beautiful place in the world, but it's very tiring at the same point, and you always have to bring 100% of your energy and your focus. For me, you know, I got drawn to the Olympic Games maybe at the age of 6, and it was when I was looking through a magazine, a Sports Illustrated Olympic Preview magazine, and I just saw the determination and the focus of these athletes, and it really, you know, struck something inside of me, and I just knew that that was the challenge I wanted to do. And what I didn't realize is that I was looking to, you know, push my potential. And I realize that now, and that's what I love every day. I like to go out there and I like to try and get better. I like to ski a little bit faster. I like to try and narrow the gap between the men's times and the women's times. And I'm still loving what I do, and after winning gold in Torino, I sat down with my coaches, and they believed that I still had a lot of room to grow as an athlete, and that's why I'm continuing. Without that, I wouldn't be motivated.
Even as a young freestyle skier, the sport's changing all the time, and over the past 5 years dramatically. Important rule changes with off-axis jumps and flips and so on and so forth. How, as an athlete, have you coped with that? Because in the good old days, it was a triple twister, and now it feels like and looks like you can go anywhere with it.
Well, it's very exciting, the changes that have happened to our sport. I mean, I was very happy to see flips being allowed after the Salt Lake City Olympics, and I think all the athletes involved in the sport love it. I mean, it makes the sport that much more exciting. It's that much more fun to watch. But it's been a huge challenge because I couldn't even do a backflip on a trampoline 4 years ago, and now I'm doing it on skis and looking to raise my degree of difficulty to the next level. So it's very challenging trying to stay at the top of your sport, you know, prepare physically, mentally, you know, do all the other things, but also learn the most very basic skills that you don't have. So it's been challenging, and we've spent a lot of time on the water ramp to practice our jumps, and that's a lot of fun. And yeah, it's, you know, it's a new challenge.